Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome from wherever you are. Um, Happy holiday weekend. Pleasure to be here with you and welcome the new people. Um, Hello to the people on Zoom who I can see, the people on Facebook who I cannot see, and greetings to the folks on YouTube who may be watching this later. Today, I thought I would talk about forgiveness. I think it's a good topic. And it's Christmas, and to me, the central moment in the life of Christ was when he was hanging on the cross and praying to forgive the people who put him there. So I thought it was a good theme for this weekend. But first, we're going to meditate. But I thought I would share something with you that I read from an article in Tricycle magazine. Unfortunately, I did not write down the name of the writer before I clicked and closed the window, but I will endeavor to find that. But I think it speaks to this thing that happens in meditation where we're always wandering off and coming back and wandering off and coming back. And some people tend to wonder whether they're doing it right because of that whole phenomenon of the mind wandering around. But the mind just wanders around, and what we're doing is we're practicing bringing it back to the moment. And I thought this was a fairly eloquent description of that. He wrote, "I am deep in this memory when I hear the wail of an ambulance in the distance. I suddenly remember that I am meditating. I feel my legs on the chair, my feet on the carpet. I hear the jingle of the wind chimes on my patio and take a slow, measured breath. At the peak of the inhale, I let the remaining images of the memory, the laminate kitchen floor, the flower-patterned tablecloth, sprinkled with pie crumbs, my cousin's small fingers wrapped around a mug of hot cocoa, fade into the reality of the present moment." So we're meditating, and our mind wanders off into whatever, and then we just sort of like let that fade into the reality of the present moment and come back to where we are. So I invite you to find a meditation posture that works for you. And that would be where you are upright, if you're sitting upright, alert but not rigid. Your back sort of has a natural curve, so you can let it fall into that. If it helps for you to push back against the back of a chair, that's fine. But upright and relaxed rather than slouched. It's actually harder to maintain this than it is to maintain this. And if you tuck in your chin just a little bit, without like overly stretching the muscles, without tucking your chin just a little bit, that straightens the top of your spine. And I invite you to lower your gaze, sort of so that you're looking down the bridge of your nose, and that relaxes the muscles around your eyes. And gently close your eyes. And let's start by taking a few slow, deep breaths. About 3/4. Slow, deep breath in, and a long, slow, gentle exhale. Let's become aware of the touch points, noticing the sensations of your feet planted on the floor, the sensations of your bottom resting on the cushion. Slow, deep breaths and letting your breath return to normal. Noticing the sensations of your hands resting in your lap. Letting gravity just do its thing. And as you exhale, just begin to relax and soften. You can relax the muscles around your eyes and the muscles in your face. If you're pressing your lips together, which we often do without knowing it, or clenching your jaw, just let your mouth fall open just a little bit and close gently, just to loosen those muscles. And on the exhale, relaxing your shoulders to whatever degree you can, and your chest. Letting your belly be soft. We hold our belly in a lot, often without noticing. But we're just letting our belly hang soft. And now let your attention, your awareness, come to the sensations of the body breathing. Some people do this by focusing on the sensations of air moving in and out of your nose. Some people do this by focusing on the sensations of the chest or belly moving in and out. And for some, it's the global sensations of the body breathing. Whatever works, whatever's easy or most compelling. To rest your awareness on the sensations of breathing in and breathing out. You notice you wandered off in thought and you're thinking, that's okay. The mind does that. It's a function of the mind to think and wander around in itself. But without getting caught up in the content of the moment, which is shifting all the time, just notice thinking and bring your attention back to focus on the body breathing. You may have to do this over and over again. That's fine. Thoughts come and go, they arise and fade. It's when you notice, whether that's right away or whether you notice you've been thinking for some time, it's all good. Just internally you might want to bow to it. The process of thinking. Notice that you've done that, you've gone there. And come back to resting your awareness on the breath. Thoughts may come and go. That's okay. Just notice and come back to your awareness of the body breathing. And as we come towards the end of this sitting, I invite you to notice that whatever is going on in the world around you and your life around you, in this very moment, we're okay. Nothing is happening right now. Just the simplicity of sitting right here, right now. And I invite you to let the benefits of this meditation help you meet the world today and the people you meet today with kindness, and to view the world through kind eyes with compassion. And may it be the benefits of this practice radiate from us to the people in our households, to the people in our towns, everywhere around us. May it be that the benefits of this practice be of benefit to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be at ease and at peace. And may we contribute to that. Thank you for your practice. As usual, I have put in the chat the regular announcements and stuff. For those interested, it includes the information for this Zoom link, my contact information, link to my website, and of course, these meditations and talks are absolutely freely given. If anybody feels moved to make a donation, there's a link for that. I will not be here next week, but the group will still be here. There's a meditation teacher I know who's really good. Her name is Laura Cannon. She was in the meditation teacher training with me. She's been teaching for about 10 years. And I do her group on Monday nights. And she will be here next Sunday. I will be traveling. I'm not sure where I will be, which is why I asked somebody else to do it before I eventually land. But I will be back the week after that. I'm traveling with the laptop. So enjoy Laura. She's really great. So, as I said before, today I thought we would talk about forgiveness, kind of as a practice, because that's what it is. It's not really a thing we do or a destination we arrive at or a thing we accomplish. And what brings it to mind is it's Christmas, and which is an interesting time. You know, I have been described as a smart-ass New York Jew, and I'll own that. And I've also been described as what Natalie Goldberg called a bagel Buddhist. So I'll own that too. Jew-boo, she said. And many years ago, when I had hair, and this was black, I was interning at a child abuse clinic in San Jose, California. And all the interns got to do individual therapy and group therapy, and the only group that was available at the time that I got there was the group for adult sex offenders, child molesters, which was really a challenge for me because I felt a lot of anger. And Thanksgiving rolled around, and I was living in California. I really love visiting the old missions in California. They're just like really, really cool. There's a lot of history. The architecture is really cool. And I went to Carmel Mission and had this mind-blowing experience of Jesus on the cross. It's the most beautiful altar that I know of anywhere, and it looks like he could step down and hug you if he decided to. And I'm standing there, and I'm aware of my rage toward these men who had done horrible things to these children. And I looked up at a man being tortured to death, praying to forgive the people who put him there. And I said, oh my God, I can work with these men. And I don't know whether or not I forgave them in that moment, but I got a little taste of it. And started contemplating the idea of forgiveness. It's a tricky topic, but it's an important one. Forgiveness gives us the opportunity to finish whatever business we have with the people who've harmed us, to let them go from our lives to the degree that we do. It can be an important part of healing and moving on. It frees us of attachment. Through the lens of the first noble truth that life includes suffering, and the second noble truth is we suffer because of the things we're attached to. Forgiveness is an opportunity to let go of attachment to what has harmed us. But as I said, it's a tricky topic. So it's probably a good idea at this point for me to talk a little about my definition of forgiveness. Some people who attend these talks, and a lot of people who know me, know that I come from a very chaotic and violent family background. And so one of the things I've learned about forgiveness in relation to that, it doesn't mean that any of that was okay. It does not mean that what people did was okay. It does not mean that what people do to harm others is okay. But for me, forgiveness simply means that I am okay. I am deciding that I am okay today. Today I am not harmed. Today, in this moment, I have decided that I am well. My life is good. I've got stuff going on. We always have stuff going on. So whatever led me to this time and place and this situation is okay. It's part of the journey that got me here. It informed my decision to pursue a career as a writer. It informed my decision to pursue a career as a therapist. It informed my decision to pursue teaching meditation and Dharma. So in that sense, it's all okay. So I can let them off the hook. Because when we cling to people who've harmed us, it's sort of like we need something from them, and we need something from them to make us okay. And forgiveness lets us say, no, I don't need that from you. I'm going to let you go off and do whatever you're doing. Nor does forgiveness mean that now I have to make nice to those people. People who have harmed me, I do not necessarily have to allow them back in my life. But I'm moving them out of my head and out of my heart through the process of forgiveness. And it is a process. Some days I'm more in it, some days not so much. And it's the art, it's part of the art of deciding and knowing that I'm okay, regardless of whether or not I'm feeling okay. Today I am not harmed. I'm going through a difficult passage right now. My niece died of COVID a couple of weeks ago, and I've got a lot of stuff around that, and she wasn't vaccinated. And mindfulness helps me remember that this is just a difficult experience. It's not my life. I'm still okay. And I can separate my sense of well-being from whatever my state of mind is. And I go in and out of that too. People who attend these talks regularly have heard me say, I'm quoting my friend Jeannie Dupro, who wrote, and so I remind myself as often as I must, which is very often. I have to remind myself all the time. So, this is what mindfulness is. Recognizing my state of mind as separate from how I am and my actual well-being. Moods come and go. Thoughts come and go. The present moment is the present moment. And in this moment, I am sitting in my blue room. I love this blue room. The people who lived here before me painted it blue. I like it. I kept it. I'm sitting in my blue room, talking to y'all, which is one of my favorite things to do. And from a mindfulness point of view, practicing awareness helps me recognize that I am well in the midst of whatever is going on. And from that point of view, I can forgive because today I am not harmed. As I said, it doesn't mean that what happened was okay. It just means that today I'm okay. So I'm letting it off the hook. I don't need anything to happen for me to be okay. And as I said, I go in and out of that. And it's important to realize you cannot rush this practice. You can approach forgiveness gently, with self-compassion, and only when you're ready. It doesn't make sense to try to approach forgiveness as a process while you're still feeling harmed, because that can perpetuate the harm. If you try to forgive when you're not ready, it exacerbates the grief. When I had been in my private practice as a therapist in California, just a year or two, so we're talking like 25 years ago, a kid came to see me. He was in his teens, and his father was in jail for 12 to 18 for what he'd done to him. It's horrible stuff. And they were involved in some fringe church on the outskirts of Sacramento, and the minister told him he had to forgive his father or he would go to hell. It's a hell of a thing to say. It made him suicidal, right? And the moral of that story is you cannot begin to approach forgiveness until you're ready, and you're the only one who gets to decide that. And as I keep saying, it's not a destination, it's a process. Sometimes I'm more forgiving, sometimes I'm not. And part of that is starting to recognize through the lens of the Dharma as a solution to suffering. That, as I've talked about before, grief and other feelings will find expression. And we can either express it consciously through talking, through artwork, through poetry, through music, whatever, or we can try to ignore it and suppress it, in which case it comes out as behavior. The deeper the grief, the more abhorrent and extreme the acting out behavior. And then on a good day, through that lens, through the lens of the Dharma addressing suffering, I can look at the people who harmed me and their behaviors as an expression of their suffering, and this is what that looked like. Especially if it involves child abuse, because what we don't heal, we tend to pass on to our kids. as soon as I started to understand the experience of the people I grew up with and what their lives felt like to them, I could step back and start to forgive what happened. It's a process by which we grow into a new attitude towards what happened. An attitude that can heal us. It's something we approach when we're ready, only when we're ready. I say that over and over again. Only when we feel safe. And I think Rainer Maria Rilke, one of my favorite writers, philosophers, and poets, spoke to this without mentioning it specifically. He wrote, "Love the questions. Do not now try to answer them. We must live the questions, and then someday, without knowing it, we will live our way into the answer." I believe forgiveness has that same quality. We can decide we are okay and then live with the question of forgiveness a little bit at a time until we come to an answer. And I want to stress here, I am not minimizing the traumas that people have experienced, nor am I advocating, as I keep saying, you must forgive before you're ready. Forcing forgiveness perpetuates harm. But it's something we approach, something we can do when we decide we're ready. It can't be rushed. My friend Stephanie Lape, she and I went to grad school together, and I pursued the clinical track. And when she got out of school, she decided she didn't want to be a shrink, so she went and got ordained as a Lutheran minister. Said forgiveness, we forgive for ourselves and our own liberation. Forgiveness is not so that we can be good. Forgiveness is so that we can be free, so that we can be liberated from whatever harmed us. So, it's always about self-compassion. It's a compassionate act we bring to ourselves only when we're ready. So whatever your perspective on forgiveness, if you decide to engage the process, it's important to do so with a great deal of compassion toward yourself. It's important to do so only when you've decided that you are ready, and not because someone or some entity tells you to. It's an opportunity to practice being kind and gentle with yourself. And that means if you're ready to engage a process of forgiveness, good on you. If you're not, good on you too. So, I hope that was helpful. And I appreciate your kind attention. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Thanks for the talk.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
See you.
Thank you as well. I have a question.
Sure.
Next week, do I use the same code to get in?
Yes, everything will be the same. I gave Laura my access code, so I hope she's not like using my Zoom account to plan a bank robbery. I also made her an admin in the Facebook group so she can start the Facebook live stream. So yes, everything will be right here at the same place. I think Laura's really cool. I love her perspective. I hope you do too.
Well, thank you. This is my first time.
Welcome.
And I love the hour because I'm always up so early, and this is my quiet time. And I found the topic very appropriate. Christmas is a hard time. I'm surrounded by a few alcoholics, and with alcoholics, they can sometimes be drama. I mean, this Christmas was no different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just so appropriate for me for today. Thank you.
I'm really glad you came, and I hope you continue to come. I've also been in AA for a very, very long time, since I had hair. Um, and I know that people, and I grew up in an alcoholic home. Um, I know people, especially addicts, struggle with this time of year. There's all this like supposed to be stuff around Christmas, but it's not the Bates Motel and it's not Curry or Knives either. Right? It's like there's something in the middle. So hope to see you here again, and I invite you to practice being kind and gentle with yourself. I think that's the most. If you had to boil all the teachings down, I really think it all revolves around self-compassion. And forgiveness is a self-compassion practice. So, thank you.
Thank you.
As I said, I'll be on the road. I'll probably tune in through the Facebook feed next week if I'm somewhere near a computer. And I will see y'all in a couple. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.